Welcome back to the channel. This is Twenty Storm and you are watching first part of What If Naruto Was Chosen by Venom. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Now wasting no more time, let's start the story.
In the universe, there is a race of beings that is unlike any other. That, when they're alone, are weak against all dangers. It is known that fire, cold, and sound can all kill these creatures. But they show how powerful they are when they find a host. All of them are parasites, only interested in getting energy from the host. They go from place to place and eat everything they find until there is nothing left. After that, they just go to the next planet. No, there's nothing like them. When they work together, they are strong enough to stop ships and can move from one place to another at incredible speeds. Every part of their lives that they care about is improved, from fighting to making babies. They are both powerful and big. They are unstoppable. One of them was different, though. It never caused its host to die. The people who ran it never got lost. All of its hosts were killed. It wasn't a parasite because it wanted to live with the host instead of killing it. It begged them to let it go and showed them how much stronger and better it would be if it did. They didn't like it. These ideas couldn't spread to everyone. It was locked up on a planet with no living things. After a very long time, life came back to the planet. And it was still locked. But it never felt bad about what it did. It thinks that they should work with them, not agree with them. And its patience and persistence paid off. The planet was saved from evil by bringing a creature from another world here. With his clothes ruined, he let the symbiont go by accident. Since it didn't have enough energy, the symbiont could only pray that it would be able to bond with him. Did it? Later, when he had saved the world and gone back to his own, the symbiont had fully healed and remembered its host. He was a human from the planet Earth. He was already strong, and his skills could be improved and were taken over by the symbiont. He was strong, but he didn't use it to control other people. This host wanted to keep his guests safe. The symbiont also wanted the same thing. The symbiont took over the host's body while he slept at night and made him do the same things he did when he was awake. But this scared the host, and the two of them split up. Since then, the symbiont has moved on to a few different hosts. The first was an unstable one. He wanted the first host to get hurt. The symbiont wanted to stop him from doing that, but according to what he said, he couldn't. In the end, the old host beat the new one in a fight. Over time, he became known as both a bad guy and a good guy. Because of the symbiont, he had the same desire to do good. He went to war to protect the good and punish the bad. But he couldn't see that some of the things he did were wrong. During this time, the symbiont made copies of itself. The first one made a bond with a man who had gone crazy and wanted blood. His mind was taken over by his symbiont. They didn't have any other choice but to kill them. Then there were 5 more after that. 4 of them found good, stable men and women to get close to. But not the 5th. She started to have paranoia and schizophrenia. She turned into a killer. And she got away from Venom. 4 of them were locked up. Until they met someone like the first host. He too tried to do the right thing. He worked as a police officer. The 4 were so young, but they had the same needs as their parent. Without a host, they were dying in their containers. The officer could tell they weren't bad, so he let them go so they could get to know him. Not only did they work together, but they also became a hero called Hybrid. Now, the second host is old and on his last mission. He was losing, too. Venom couldn't fight with the same energy and strength he used to. He was moving more slowly because he was fighting a battle he knew he couldn't win. He had to try it, though. And it will kill him this time. After he was killed, he was sent through a portal to another world. And he landed at night in a part of a city that few people care about. And the first thing he saw was a boy with blonde hair that was all over the place and clear blue eyes. 10-year-old Naruto asked the old man in front of him, "Hey, are you going to be okay?" "No, kiddo," Brock told him. "We're going to die." "There is a hospital near here," Naruto said as he bent down to help him get up. "I'll show you the way. It's not important. We're finished." Brock turned to look at the boy. He was dirty and didn't look like he was in the best of health. But he was kind and caring. "If you were in charge, boy, what would you do? Would you hurt people with it or help them?" "I am going to be Hokage," Naruto said with pride. "Everyone in my village is going to get help from me. Even the world." Brock gave a nod. Even now, he was getting farther away. And so would Venom if he died right then. "Hand it to me." Naruto did it because he thought he would ask him to help him stand up. Naruto grabbed his black-gloved hand, and something wrapped around it. It moved until his eyes and mouth were covered. Naruto yelled and lost consciousness. When Naruto woke up, he asked, "Where? Where are we?" He was in his bed, and he was wearing some new clothes. When Naruto stood up, he felt different, but better. He looked down and saw that he was wearing black ninja clothes with a white spider on his chest that wrapped around his back to another. His pants had pockets and he was wearing boots. Nice. Where is the orange spiral, though? When he wanted to see his back in the mirror, he saw it on the spider's back. Very nice, Naruto smiled. On the shirt, there was also a mask hood. It covered his whole face except for 2 white spots where his eyes should be. He had black gloves with white on top to cover his hands. He didn't know where they came from, but he would find out later. He looked at his alarm when it went off. We won't make it to class on time. He opened the window and then jumped out. He saw that he had missed his jump. Then there was another one. No. He grabbed a flagpole and spun around on it until he stopped. That was pretty cool. He dropped it and stood up. He stood on it perfectly. He bent down and up as he walked to the end. Soon, the pole was moving up and down by a few feet. Naruto jumped when the path turned up. The word, Yahoo! He got to class faster than ever that day. "Good morning, Mr. Iruka-sensei." As he walked into class, Naruto said. Iruka looked at him, waved, turned back to her paper, and then gave Naruto a second look. "Where did your clothes go?" "Iruka-sensei, we have no idea. We only know that we left Ikaruka and went home. When we woke up, we found these. We were running late, so we wore them." Iruka tilted his head and looked at him strangely. The bell rang, though, and the other students came in. Naruto also had a new look. More confident, healthier, and something else. Iruka couldn't figure out what it was. Kiba asked Naruto as he sat down, "Hey, Naruto, what's up with the clothes?" "We like it," said Naruto. "That spider is totally awesome. This could be our sign when we become great ninja." He thought of something else. The spider is one of the targets. People will try to hit that instead of our head. How did we figure that out? Man, Kiba said, I don't know. But it makes sense. Also, that spider is awesome. You might even win Sakura's favor. Naruto gave it a lot of thought. Do we want her to like us because of how we look? Isn't that dumb? He didn't realize he was saying we when he meant I. Or how his thoughts changed all of a sudden. He did see something, though. He no longer had that extra energy that made it hard for him to concentrate. Maybe, maybe not, Naruto said a moment later. She cares about Sasuke, not us. And Naruto-kun, they heard from behind. Behind them was the shy girl from their class. Naruto used to think she was strange and quiet, but then he saw that it was just because she didn't trust herself. Is that right? Hyuga Hinata? Naruto asked. She looked more scared, but she nodded. Hi, Hinata-chan. Good morning. What can we do for you? She turned so red that Naruto didn't understand what was going on. I wanted to tell you that I like your clothes. You look good in them. She made a bow and ran away. The two boys closed their eyes, looked at each other, and closed their eyes again. Then Kiba gave a grin. You know that she has it for you. Is that why she's always so shy around us? Not us, you, Kiba said in response. That is exactly what we said. Kiba turned to Iruka and shook his head. Okay, class, get your pencils out and get ready. Your test is being given out by Mizuki-sensei. Naruto grabbed his and took a look at it. B6 was written at the top as the lesson. At first glance, Kiba's said, B3. His was 3 steps up. Now that he thought about it, he realized that all of his tests were about things they hadn't covered yet. He stuck out his hand. Iruka-sensei, the wrong test was given to us. We were given one that has questions about things you haven't taught yet. As he walked toward the boy, Iruka frowned. Naruto, this is something we talked about last week. Huh? You're correct. Mizuki, what happened? Must have gotten mixed up in the pile, Mizuki said with a shrug. How did he find out? Iruka asked the class, does anyone else have the wrong test? No one put up a hand. I'm sorry, Naruto. Mizuki, please give me one more test. He put it on the desk of Naruto. Thank you, Mr. Iruka-sensei. That night, Iruka was giving grades to the papers. Naruto took one look at the quiz and got a shocked look on his face. He turned it in not even 5 minutes later. Iruka thought this one would have a lot of red. Okay, first question. Is right. Second question? Is right. How many? Right, right and right. What's going on? Iruka took this to the Hokage quickly. Naruto had something wrong with him. Iruka said to the Hokage, Hokage-sama, I have something important to tell you, as he walked into the office. What's up, Iruka? Asked Sarutobi. Naruto isn't acting right. He said, we all day when he meant, I. He was still and listened. And he did well on the test. Sarutobi made a face and almost told him to leave. Then he realized who he was referring to. Did Naruto make it? Without any doubt. And he didn't panic? Not a sign of the hyperactivity he usually has. He said, we. Especially, we. Yes. Do you really think the fox did something? I don't know, but I'll look into it right now. Thank you for letting me know about this. When Naruto opened the door to see who was there, he saw it was the Hokage. Hey, old fella. Here to buy us ramen? Us? Naruto, is there anyone else here? No, it's just us. Sarutobi nodded, but Naruto had no idea that's what he was saying. Actually, I volunteered to help the hospital and give you the physical they needed to be done. Okay. Take off your t-shirt. Naruto took off the black shirt but held on to it. Okay, Naruto, use your chakra and close your eyes. He did what the Hokage asked, and he looked at the seal. Nothing about it was different. He did a jutsu and touched it with his glowing hand. The fox was locked up tighter than a vault full of money. That's it, Naruto. You can re-wear your shirt. Naruto did that, and then he asked the Hokage if he wanted some ramen. No, I have to go back. But first, why do you say, we? We? We didn't. Old man, you must be going crazy. Sarutobi agreed. Either Naruto didn't know or this was a new trick. He wasn't under genjutsu, either. So there must have been a trick. Watch out, Naruto. Go to sleep. Naruto looked at the targets farther away. He couldn't buy his own kunai because he didn't have enough money. So he had to use the weapons from the academy. They were also broken and out of balance. He didn't like them at all. He really wanted his own. He sighed and looked at his hand. To find a kunai that matched his clothes. He tried to find out where it came from, but no one else had one like it. He tried it out and found that the balance was just right. The edge was sharp. He didn't know where it came from, but he would keep it and value it. He took careful aim at the target while looking down range. He was afraid of losing it. He knew he wouldn't hit the center, but maybe today he'd get lucky and hit the outside circle. He tossed. And took the middle. Sensei Iruka. It worked. The teacher came over to look. Good job, Naruto. Have you got anything else like that? Naruto gave a head shake. So Iruka went and got it. Then keep using this one to practice. Try to get more that are the same size and weight. Of course, Mr. Iruka-sensei. Naruto looked at it and saw that it seemed a little bit more fragile than when he had held it. But that didn't last long. He threw it again because he didn't get it. Again, he was right on. This kunai is great. We wish there were more. As if that was the magic word, he suddenly had more. When he looked at them, he looked shocked. When he looked up, the older one was gone. What the heck is going on? But he didn't want to waste a good thing, so he threw them all away. They were all close together. Naruto, you're getting better when you hit the center twice. If you hit it like that, it means something is wrong with it, Iruka told him. Iruka-sensei, we don't know how to explain it. The last few days, we've just felt really good. Less scattered, more. We don't know what, but we know there's more. Our hands move just the way we want. Your eye-hand coordination has gotten better? Yes, you got it. And what are our weapons? When he looked, he saw that the kunai were no longer there. Iruka-sensei, they're already gone. He checked the target and saw that they were there. No student had them, though. I am sorry, Naruto, but I should have been watching. No, Iruka-sensei, I saw that coming. Keep an eye on. Naruto made more things. They were white this time. He had no interest. As long as they were as good as the black ones, they could be white, blue, or neon orange. We throw them, and after being away from us for 15 seconds, they disappear. He gave an example. Hey, could this be something special, like how Kiba can talk to dogs? Iruka thought about it, and she couldn't say it couldn't be true. It is just like one in every way. I'm not sure. I'll ask the Hokage the next time I see him. Naruto nodded and smiled at the target, showing that it was about to die. He was very accurate with his kunai throws for the rest of the lesson. When they stopped, they broke it up. Sarutobi's beard was scratched. Well, I've never heard of such a skill, and I don't know much about the Uzumaki family either. That makes sense, Iruka said. It could very well be. It would also explain why he was acting differently. It would take energy to use such a skill. That's why he's been paying more attention. I can't explain why he talks in the plural, but it might be a quirk of his personality. Iruka told the Hokage that she would let him know if anything changed before she left. Naruto made a kunai that is black. It started to look like a shuriken. Then came a sword, an axe, a mace, and other weapons. Where did we learn to do this? He was sure he heard someone answer. But he was the only one on his apartment's roof. What are you? You gave it to me? What do you mean? He both heard and didn't hear that voice. Naruto realized that it didn't say words, but he knew what it meant. He looked at the spider on his shirt. You? The memories from the night before came back. The darkness wrapped around him and became his clothes. He had his hood up. Don't worry, Brock. But we have to find help for you, Naruto said. No, Venom, he said. I'm dead. It's time for me. Can you help me get up? I wish I could see the stars again. Naruto took him to a hill, where he stayed with him until he died. Then he gave the man the funeral he knew he wanted. Not to be forgotten, but to be remembered and let loose on the world to haunt all the bad people. Naruto was on the ground when they came back. Whoa. When he stood up again, Brock's question and his answer to it came to mind. Naruto said, "We will keep our promise. We are Venom, and our Nindo is to always keep our word." Pulling up his hood, he ran off into the darkness, leaving behind only the image of a white spider. Naruto ran to the building's edge and jumped off. He believed what Venom told him, so he put out his hand. Its spider web went flying and landed on the roof of another building. Nothing here was even close to as tall as the memories Venom showed him. He could still do it, though. With power comes responsibility, Naruto said as he flew through the city. If there is no other reason to fight, it is for those who have not yet seen evil. He knew that the second was Brock's. The first was from the man who came before him. He landed on the fourth surface. And the will of fire is the desire to protect all those around you. He made a tight fist. As long as we have it, anyone who wants to fight us will be weaker than us. He knew that Venom liked him. One day, we'll see our faces up here. And once it is, nothing will ever hurt our home again. Sasuke Uchiha, Naruto Uzumaki, and Sakura Haruno, you are Team 7, and Hitaki Kakashi is your leader. He looked at them to see how they would react. Sasuke was just as he expected, probably thinking that 2 was too many. Sakura was so happy to be with Sasuke-kun that she was cheering. It could be fun. If we do well on the next test. Sakura gave him a low growl. You're always going to be such a fool, Naruto. We have already passed. Sure, Naruto said as he got up and walked to the window. PFT. If all you had to do to be a ninja was know Kawarimi, Bunshin, and the Henge, it would be easy. If that was all it took, then anyone who could control chakra would be able to do it. He looked over at Iruka. Iruka-sensei, we'll be back at noon. He opened the door, jumped out, and landed on the other side of the street. He waved to the people who were watching him. After 2 years, they were used to him doing things like this. He can jump over things that shouldn't be possible, walk up walls, and make weapons out of nothing. If Sasuke didn't beat him, he would be Rookie of the Year. He didn't even want it. Being a member of the general public was a good thing. Everyone knows who was first, but no one cares about anything else. Naruto sat down on the stool he always sat on when he ate at Ikaruka Ramen. Hello, Tuchi-san and Ayame-chan. I think I'll have the same old thing. 1 bowl of beef, miso, and chicken is coming up, Ayame said. That headband looks good on you, Naruto. Thanks, Ayame-chan. We like how it makes us feel. But it doesn't look good behind our mask. Wear it around your waist like a belt, Tuchi said. Naruto gave it some thought and then nodded. He got rid of it and put it on Venom. So, do you know who your sensei is? The name is Hitaki Kakashi. Oh, I think I know who that is, said Ayame. A tall, skinny guy with white, spiky hair, kind of like a scarecrow, who always walks around reading a book and wears a mask over his lower face. Naruto nodded, because he had also seen that person. We'll be on the lookout. Thanks a lot, Ayame-chan. He jumped up on a building after eating and started to look around. He didn't find what he was looking for. When he was about to get hurt, he felt like his skin was tingling. While he was ducking, he saw 2 kunai fly over them. He shot web at them to catch them, pulled them back, and threw them back at the person who had thrown them. Sasuke did it. I want to do it again. Still mad that you beat me at taijutsu, Naruto said as a joke. No way are you better than me, Sasuke told him. I think I've shown over and over again that I am. Naruto fell to the ground. And I'm fed up with doing it. Stop it, you're better at ninjutsu and controlling chakra. Stop feeling bad about not being the best at everything. Having that Kekkei Genkai doesn't make you better just because you have it. But until the day you can beat us at taijutsu, you are second best. Naruto turned around and began to leave. Even as Sasuke began to punch, he fell to the ground. He got back up, put on his mask, and flipped Sasuke over. He put a knife to his neck. This is it, enough, Naruto said as a warning. We won't be shy again. He put down the sword and walked away, feeling Uchiha's eyes on him. He knew when a punch or jutsu was coming because of Venom. Because of Venom, he was able to pay more attention. But Venom chose him. He didn't choose Venom. He did not feel bad about using his skills. When Iruka saw the Jonin after class was over, he told him, Kakashi, I'm warning you, don't be late with this team. Don't be late, even if you fail them. Why? He asked, turning a page in his book. They are just a genin. Naruto, said Iruka. He has been unpredictable since he turned on his Kekkei Genkai, except when it comes to respect and betrayal. Naruto was the one who found Mizuki 3 nights ago. Please don't do it. I will have to think about it. Iruka let out a sigh, which meant no. Kakashi walked in after opening the door. To see a huge slingshot with a spike big enough to kill him shoot a projectile at him. He got on the ground and saw it hit the wall. It was there for 15 seconds before it went away. Naruto warned, next time, don't be late, as he flipped a kunai in his hand. Kakashi looked at him and saw that he was wearing a mask that matched his clothes. How do I say? I don't like any of you. In 5 minutes, meet me on the roof. The clone got away on its own. Naruto went back outside and climbed to the roof. Kakashi asked, so, you've learned how to climb with your feet? No, Kekkei Genkai is a strange thing. It gives us a number of skills, some of which we can't control. We do it anyway. The way he talked to him made Kakashi frown. Say, tell me more. No. The other people came. So tell us what we need to do to stay ninja. This will make Sakura believe us. Again, Kakashi frowned. This was no longer fun because of what he was doing. First, let's say hello. I want to know more about you. Things like likes, dislikes, hobbies, and dreams. Sakura said, why don't you go first? Me? I am Kakashi Hatake. You don't care about what I like or don't like. What I hope for the future is... Well, I do a lot of things for fun. Go away, man in a mask. We are either Uzumaki Naruto or Venom. And? We like to jump, have fun, and fight to keep the people around us safe. We dislike people who are bad and can't get over themselves because of their birth. Am I going to have to drag everything out of you while you're kicking and screaming? Our hobbies are private, but our dreams aren't hard to understand. To become the world's strongest Hokage ever. Then to keep ourselves and others safe. Are you going to do that again? We are, yes. Okay, Pinky, you go next. Hello, I'm Haruno Sakura. I like Naruto, but I hate him. The things I like to do are... Stalking Sasuke, Naruto said in a low voice. Be quiet. She tried to hit him, but Naruto leaned back and pushed her back to her seat. I don't like Naruto at all. What I hope for the future is to marry Sasuke, jump his bones, and have his children, Naruto said again. And maybe not even in that order. Sakura tried again to hit him, but the same thing happened. And you, Kakashi told Sasuke. My name is Sasuke Uchiha. I don't like anything much, and there are a lot of things I really dislike. I don't do anything for fun, and I only have one goal. To kill a certain man and put my clan back together. Kakashi gave a nod. He had read that when Naruto was younger, he was nicer. Sakura knew more than she seemed to know. But she looked like a fool, so it couldn't be that hard. And Sasuke was easy to guess. Now, one of you has already guessed that tomorrow there will be a test to see if you stay a ninja. I will decide what to do. And there is a 66% chance that you will fail. When he saw Sakura drop her jaw and Sasuke raise his eyebrow, he smiled. But Naruto's mask made him hard to understand. Kami, am I really that annoying with this on? Now, be at training ground 7 at 8 o'clock tomorrow. Don't eat breakfast or you'll be sick. He turned into smoke, making a copy of himself. Let's see how much fun this is, said Naruto. He left and went home to get a good night's sleep. He didn't tell us not to eat, but he did tell us not to. So we're going to get up early so we can fully digest it before we throw up. Sasuke said, yes, that's a good idea. He got up and walked back down to the street like a normal person, and Sakura ran after him, bugging him for a date. Naruto went to the training ground with a smile on his face and a spring in his step. He ate, and he was proud to tell Kakashi that he did. Ready to go, Sasuke? Yes, we are, he said in response. Sakura laughed, but Naruto didn't care that his words made her laugh. When Kakashi finally got there, he had to avoid a few spears. Hey, how are you? Let me tell you how it works. 2 bells are mine. You will try to get them before 12 o'clock. If you don't, I'll tie you to that stump and eat your lunch in front of you. The stomachs of Sakura and Sasuke grumbled, which made Naruto look at them. We are ready, Naruto said about himself. I don't think so. If you come at me with the goal of killing me, you won't stand a chance. Go. Naruto climbed the tree and hung from a branch. He moved while on his knees. He fell to the ground and slid, missing Kakashi as he did so. He turned to the side when he felt him behind him. You have good reflexes, Kakashi said. Let me teach you the first thing you need to know to be a ninja. Taijutsu. He put his hand in his bag and pulled out a book. Naruto was hurt that he thought that little of him, but he didn't let it bother him. What, aren't you going to try your luck? The answer is, we are. He spread his arms and threw the web at Kakashi, catching him in it. He pulled on it and let it go, not caring. He thought Kakashi was somewhere else, so he went there. Naruto pulled out 2 swords and ran toward where he thought he was. Very good senses, Kakashi said as he moved out of the way. When he felt his cheek get cut, his eye got bigger. You are really trying to kill me. He jumped back and looked at Naruto. He had no style or form. He just went in and moved on instinct. This was always a bad thing. But Naruto couldn't have heard it, because Kakashi couldn't put Naruto in a bad spot no matter how hard he tried. He turned and twisted, but he never had to block. That's not a genin. Kakashi backed into something and felt it against his foot. There was more web. Hell. When another Naruto fell out of a tree, he took the web with him. While the first one made his hand into a huge shuriken. It began to spin, and Naruto used it to cut Kakashi's head off. Kakashi used hand signs in a flash, and a wall of stone stopped the attack. Kakashi said, that was close, as he threw a kunai at the cage Bunshin. He fell down to the floor. I might have to tell you something important. Naruto's arms were spiked, and he crossed them. Then he tossed them to the side and sent dozens of kunai at him. There are way too many to block them all. Instead, he went underground to talk to them. Konoha's oldest and most holy. His head was hit by a fist and a boot. Kakashi got back on his feet as quickly as he could. Naruto wanted his blood, so he couldn't waste any time. Eventually, he figured out what Naruto was up to. He wasn't thinking. He was just moving like a master swordsman and acting on what he saw. Naruto jumped back and made some signs with his hands. It became cloudy, making it hard to see anything. While Naruto was gone for good. "Is that Naruto?" asked Sakura in shock. Sasuke bit his teeth together. Naruto wasn't good at those things, but he had more than enough chakra to make up for it. Kakashi changed the way he breathed. This was a skill for killing people, and all he had to do to use it was listen. He felt something hit and pull on his chest. When he saw a white spider, he knew he was going to fly right to it. He couldn't turn or dodge. All he could do was take it. It felt like Guy had hit me. But Naruto also couldn't stop. In response, he was hit in the face. As Naruto stood back up, the fog went away. "We're winners." He was holding a bell. "We'll give the others a chance before we go back to get the bell for them." He leapt into the air, shot his web at a tree, and then vanished. Kakashi got his lower jaw off the ground. He actually got a bell. Looks like someone is mad. He could feel that Sasuke wanted to kill Naruto. Naruto whispered behind her, "Sakura," which made her scream. He hissed, "Quiet. I need your help with something I'm thinking about." "What are you saying?" "You don't need help, because you already have a bell." "Well, that's it. It doesn't make sense, so something is wrong. Why put us on a team of 3 if you're just going to split us up?" Sakura was going to say something, but she couldn't. "I really don't know. We think there's more going on than meets the eye. We still don't know what, but this much is clear. We need to find a bell for you." Sakura's jaw was tight. She wanted to pass, but if she did, Sasuke wouldn't, and if Sasuke did, she wouldn't. "Sakura, has Sasuke ever told you to keep following him?" "Well, he's never said it, but I know he." She thought about how sad that sounded. "What did he say yesterday?" "I don't like anything and dislike a lot of things." "He doesn't feel the same way about you." "What do you know about how other people feel?" "Not a lot. We know, though, that being nice to Sasuke hasn't helped you get closer to him. That he respects authority. Prove to him that you are strong. Even if you need help, you will show that you are strong enough to handle it." Sakura looks all around in a panic. "Good enough." She grabbed Naruto's hand, and he pulled her up and jumped. "Kakashi-sensei," Sakura yelled. "Give the bell to me." When he turned to look at her, he was surprised to see Naruto standing behind her. "I thought that you hated Naruto." She did not answer. "And won't your getting a bell keep Sasuke from graduating?" She looked like she was about to lose the will to go on. But Naruto reached out and touched her shoulder. "No. We'll find a way for everyone to pass," yelled Sakura. "But the second bell has to come first. You won't underestimate Naruto again, but he'll have help this time." She was holding a kunai. "Save us some time, Kakashi-sensei, and drop the bell," Naruto said, referring to both him and Sakura. As he moved, his bell made a clink. Kakashi looked at both of them. "Naruto, I can take your bell back if you do this?" "Then we're not ready to be ninjas yet," Naruto said in response. "We have proof that we can't work with Sakura or Sasuke if we can't." "But you are not working with Sasuke right now." Naruto told him, "You're wrong, he won't work with us." "Stop talking. We're going to take the bell." he said in a whisper, ready? To Sakura. She took a breath and then nodded. Naruto made a cross with his hands, and on the other side of Sakura, a Kage Bunshin appeared. Both of them grabbed her arm, lifted her up, and threw her at Kakashi. We hope her plan works, they said to each other before charging at Kakashi. Kakashi wasn't ready for this kind of attack, so he just barely managed to duck. He caught his flak jacket with his kunai, which made her spin and stop. She put her knee up to his face, but he blocked it and used it to push her off. 4 of Naruto's swords were working together right behind him. I've seen kids with better form, Kakashi teased. But Naruto didn't do anything. One of them went and gave Sakura a hand. You won't be able to split us up, Kakashi-sensei. So I was right to think that. What are they? That you want to see if we can work well together. Kakashi was about to answer, but a kunai hit him in the back. At the same time, a web pulled Sakura forward. When he looked down, the second bell was gone. Sakura, go get Sasuke to help you. We'll hold Kakashi back. She gave a nod and ran. Then Kakashi looked at him. You've got both bells. Now we'll see how well Sasuke does on his part of the test. Sasuke, boy. Help. Sakura ran, but she didn't dare look back to see if Kakashi was still with Naruto or if he was still fighting him. Sasuke suddenly walked up to her. Before he looked at her face, he took a quick look at her bell. What? Naruto told me to come and look for you. Because he is fighting Kakashi-sensei, I can hide until the alarm goes off. Sasuke couldn't help but look at the bell. How did you manage to get that? We worked together, said Sakura. Naruto thought something wasn't right, so he helped me get what was mine. Sakura, I need a bell to get back at you. He made it clear that he wanted her to hand it to him. But then she got a shocked look on her face. When Sasuke turned around, Kakashi was giving him the evil eye. Naruto tried not to laugh at Sasuke, but he just couldn't help himself. The more Kakashi gave Naruto and Sakura a bento box, the more his stomach growled. I know what will happen to you, Sasuke. You don't have to go back to the academy. He smiled and said, so I passed. Kakashi was happy. Nope, you shouldn't be a ninja, he said. What? Sakura herself said that she dislikes Naruto. She was willing to help him get a bell, though. Naruto had a bell already, but he put it at risk to help Sakura. You know why he didn't instead help you? You wouldn't let him help you. And then you did something. I gave your team a task, get the bells. You wouldn't help the other people and even tried to fight them. But you said that if we don't get a bell, we don't pass, Sasuke growled. Why should I let someone weaker than me pass when I might not be able to? Sakura put her head down until Naruto put his hand on her arm to make her feel better. Sakura, don't let him get to you. In the end, we were stronger because we worked together. 2 wimps. Kakashi said, 2 men working together are stronger than 1 man working alone. In the ninja world, people who don't follow the rules are trash. That's right. But people who give up on their friends are trash. Sakura cares about you, and Naruto wants to help you. What do you think? Sasuke didn't say anything. I shouldn't give you a second chance, but I'm going to anyway. The only reason is that the other 2 passed. Even if the next part doesn't go as planned, Naruto and Sakura will move on. Don't stress out about it. But you will all fail if you feed Sasuke while I'm gone. He did a U-turn and left. It was quiet for a while. He is still here, Naruto said, pulling down his mask. Sakura said, I don't feel him. That doesn't change the fact that he is over there in those trees. Naruto made a direct point at Kakashi. The Jonin jumped somewhere else, but he knew it was Mook. Well, if we can't give you food without getting caught, we can at least untie you. Naruto put his food on the table and cut the ropes. Even though Sasuke tried to ignore the fact that they were eating, he couldn't. Naruto said, "We're full," even though he had barely touched his food. He got up and did some stretching. "We're going to get a little warmer." Naruto winked and told Sasuke, "Don't touch our food." He again crossed his hands and made 6 copies of himself. They all stood face to face and made weapons, which they then started to throw at each other. Between dodging and blocking, weapons were all over the place. Sasuke and Sakura both hid behind logs. After a moment, Sakura reached back to the front and took hers. Sasuke turned away when he saw her do that. It was right there, just 2 feet away from Naruto's. When he looked up, he saw a sea of black weapons being thrown at everything except the box, the stone behind them, and each other. Kakashi couldn't see through all of those to get to them. "Baka," Sasuke said to Naruto as he reached out to grab it. He went back behind the log and started to eat. "That wasn't nice, Sasuke-kun," Sakura told him. "He gave it to you, so you don't have to insult him for it." What was in Sasuke's mouth went down. "You might be right. I have been being a jerk." "No acting about it," Naruto said when one of the clones hid behind his log. "Excuse me." He stood up and threw what turned out to be a glaive. After a moment, at least 20 were brought back. "So, are you enjoying lunch? Do you always go overboard like this?" "No, not always. Just most of the time." He sat down. "Stop. We have to think about something." As they walked to the center, another clone asked, "What?" "We need to give the plan some thought." "What's the plan?" Naruto smiled as a few kunais shot out of his arms and killed the clones. "The plan in which we kill everyone." He jumped back quickly when a lot of weapons came at him all at once. One of the clones didn't trust him, so he made his own to take his place. Both put their weapons down and ran at each other. Sasuke was interested and almost thought he knew what it was. They moved as if they knew what each other would do next. But not in a way that makes them think alike. But it was the same as when he saw Sharingan and him fight. They knew what the other was going to do even as it was happening. Usually, matches like that went on for hours until one person could no longer hold the Sharingan. Naruto dodged a punch and gave a kick. It was caught by the clone, who turned. Even as he was doing it, Naruto jumped and turned, stopping the action. Over time, both of them used their spider sense to keep them safe. Naruto finally stepped back and let go of the jutsu when he was out of breath and still hadn't hit the clone. "Are you both set?" "I'm finished," said Sakura. "You, too, Sasuke? Still famished?" "Yes." As Kakashi came into view, Naruto turned to face him. "Lying people. I told you not to feed him anything." "We didn't," said Naruto in a calm voice. "You didn't follow the rules. What can you say about yourself?" "People who don't care about their allies are trash," Sakura told him. "Fine, then here's what your punishment is." Naruto no longer thought that he was a threat. "You pass," Kakashi said with a wink of the eye. Naruto left the grounds on foot and didn't jump through the city. "What are we going to do today? Put something that makes you itch into the Anbu uniforms? Put web in the old man's hat?" He realized that someone had been following him. "Why don't you go say hi to Hinata-chan?" "Yes, that sounds good to us." He jumped into the air and landed on a wall and then on top of a building. He went in a circle and saw Hinata. She was on the lookout for him. Naruto timed it so he could drop right in front of her. Venom did it at the right time so that his spider sense wouldn't tell him he was wrong until it was too late. "Hey Hinata, what?" She was running and ran right into him as she did. Naruto was glad that nobody was around to see them at that moment. Because it was a give and take. Even more so with her lips against his. Both of them had wide eyes as they looked at each other. Hinata's eyes rolled back into her head and she fell off of him. Naruto didn't do anything but blush, curse Venom for making him laugh, and put her against the wall. When she finally woke up, Naruto was looking at a new way to make kunais fly better. "Sorry about that, Hinata-chan," said Naruto as he threw the blade away. "That was not what we wanted to happen." Hinata's skin turned its darkest red yet. "You mean that really happened?" "Yes, it did," said Naruto. "It wasn't our intention to steal your first kiss." "It's fine, Naruto-kun," he said. I really don't care." "I gave Naruto-kun a kiss. I really did kiss him." "We see you have passed, Hinata-chan." Naruto showed her the headband that she still had. "Yeah, I did." "That makes us happy to hear. We have nothing else to do today, Hinata-chan, would you like to join us?" "What's up?" She looked like she was going to pass out. "Yes." "Here," Naruto said, putting out his hand. Hinata looked at it for a moment and then took it. Naruto put her on his back and tied some webs around her. "Hinata-chan, hold on tight." He got on his knees and jumped up. He hit the wall and pushed against it to get to his next point. He grabbed a flagpole and turned around on it. He started moving up and down on the end, and Hinata watched with wide eyes as he jumped off it and landed 50 feet above the building they were on. Naruto shot a web at a balcony and caught it. He flew to it after giving it a pull. Before he hit the wall, he swung around another building. He flew up and landed on the Hokage tower after letting go. "Hinata-chan, are you having fun?" She seemed confused, but she nodded yes. "We're getting close." He made 2 poles and put them in the ground. He put a web on both of them while still holding them. When he let go, he ran back quickly and slingshot into the air. "Aw!" Hinata screamed and grabbed Naruto's neck tightly. She thought they would hit the Hokage statue, but they didn't. They jumped over it, and Naruto caught a tree before swinging down to the ground. He took them off, and Hinata fell down. Never before had she been so scared. Her lips were smiling. Or happy. As she flew over Konoha, her heart was still beating fast, and she could still feel the wind. "That was fun, Naruto-kun," she said after taking a deep breath. "Is that how it always is?" "We toned it down since this was your first time," he told her as he set up a swing for himself. "I wish I could do that," said Hinata. "To be able to leave literally everything on the ground." "Hinata-chan, even a bird has to go back to the ground." "True." Hinata could feel the adrenaline in her body starting to slow down. "Naruto-kun, can we do it that way again?" "Now?" "Yes," she said with a happy nod. He gave her a smile. "It's fine." Naruto finally stopped that night, and he landed outside the Hyuga estate by parachuting down. "We hope that you had fun, Hinata-chan." "I did, Naruto-kun," she said, feeling a bit dizzy from the rush of adrenaline. "I had a great time." She embraced him. "Say, thank you." She gave a wave and fell back into her house. Her dad would want to know where she was and if she had died. She would tell him that she was working out with a distance fighter to try to stop him. She had enough wrinkles in her clothes for it. Naruto walked home. He was a little tired and hungry. But he didn't get very far before he felt someone staring at him. "You're very brave, boy." Naruto turned around to look at Hiyashi. "We don't get it." "That's how I hold my daughter." "If we understand you right, Hinata-chan is pretty much yours now." "We helped her with her lack of confidence." "I don't think so." "It was. This afternoon, she came to see us and we talked for a while. We asked her to come with us because she didn't seem too sure about something. Just little things that would bother her, but we made them fun for her, too." If I find out that you have done something to her. He didn't finish the threat. But Naruto didn't care. Our word is that we would never do anything like that. Your word means very little to me. Why? Because we sealed the Kyuubi inside us? Hiyashi was surprised. One night, a drunk person tried to hurt us by calling us demons and monsters. He gave it away. Well, now you know. And why everyone dislikes you. To us, it couldn't be more clear. Why anything else? And despite what happened, you still want to be Hokage and protect the people of this village. We would, said Naruto. I have faith in you. Just knock on the door if you want to see my daughter again. Hiyashi turned around and left. Naruto breathed out. He didn't even have a knife to his throat. Venom, get in position. Cherry Blossom, ready to cut off all escape routes. The hunter is leading the victim into the trap. When Sakura got in its way, a dark, evil monster was running through the grass. When it jumped over a log, it got stuck in the air. A huge web from a spider. This white spider the size of a man's chest moved out of the tree's shadow and toward the light. Tora the cat fell asleep before Naruto could be seen clearly. He crawled down the web like a spider and asked, "What happened to Tora?" He didn't really need to ask, did he? He knew that the spider on his chest would be the thing that people who faced him and lived would dream about. He got to her and pulled the webs out of her fur. He then jumped off and landed on the grass. Pink bow on the left ear, this is the target, he said into his radio. Good job, everyone, said Kakashi. How bad are their injuries? None, said Sasuke. None? Gee, I don't think Sasuke was joking. How bad is it? Hey, lazy reader, this is Venom. The cat fell asleep when it thought a big spider was coming to eat it. Venom, if you had been that spider, what would you have done? Why on earth would you ever think that? Kakashi let out a sigh and let it go. This would be the first time anyone has ever caught Tora without getting hurt. Just what he needed, for his team to think they could handle something bigger than they could. In fact, I think that's a good idea. Work out their stress and bring them down a few notches. Venom has never felt bad for the people it has hurt. And neither has its host. They fight, and sometimes they lose or even die. But what they saw made both of them understand why the cat ran away and even feel sorry for it. Tora's owner squeezed her so hard that she died. Ma'am, we know how to treat animals well. Maybe we know what will stop Tora-chan from running away again. Really? Asked the daimyo's wife. Please tell me how. First, think about how you just talked to her. She seemed to be puzzled. If we were a small animal with fur and a much bigger animal started acting like that, we would think it was trying to attack us. The woman seemed to feel bad about what she had done. Second, cats don't grow up to be rough and tumble animals. Tora would love you for it if she were a dog. She is a cat, though. So, she likes the passive kind of love. Be gentle with her. When you hold her, stretch her out like she's on a windowsill. If all she wants to do is lie down, then let her be that way. Don't pick her up, and don't even look at her. When she misses the hands that treat her well and makes her feel good, she will go looking for them. Sit down and take it easy, and she will want to sleep on you. Young man, why didn't I ever have you before? She asked with a big smile. She looked at Tora and moved him around as she did so. The cat winced because it thought more pain was coming. But instead, she felt a soft hand rub her ears. Almost killing the cat with the shock, she couldn't even think about taking advantage of the loose grip and running. Once again, thank you. I'll make sure you get a bonus. As well, I'll ask for you whenever I can. Naruto from Uzumaki, ma'am. She closed her eyes a few times. Oh, well, Naruto, it's nice to meet you. My husband has told me about you. The Hokage can't stop talking about the boy who went from being at the bottom of his class to being almost at the top. About a hero in every way. We wouldn't be able to understand why we are. No, you wouldn't, of course. Right now, I'll go talk to the Hokage about your bonus. She left, and Tora was still in shock. Should we be happy or angry? Asked a Chunin standing behind them. Sakura asked, what do you mean? Well, that's good, because we won't have to look for the cat ever again. Mad because the daimyo spends almost as much money in a year to get her back as he would on an S-rank mission. The genin's jaws dropped. They had only heard stories about how much those things cost. Then they looked at Naruto. We had no idea. Well, the cat is getting older and can't make the escapes like she used to, Kakashi told them. It used to take a whole week of looking for her to catch her. I guess this means we'll have to get a new tracking training mission. They walked up to the Hokage's office and went in, where they heard, and I will make sure that my husband hires more people from the village. As she left the office, the wife of the daimyo said. Have a nice day, Naruto-kun, he said. Kakashi turned around and looked back at her, then went back to the Hokage. Is there news? It's possible Tora won't run away as much. She said Naruto should get a bonus for finally telling her why she runs away. And a promise that there will be more requests for genins in the future. Kakashi said, it might make up for the money I lost from Tora.
You don't know. She gave this to me. He showed a piece of paper with at least 20 jobs on it.
They were simple things that any genin could do, and there were even a few sea missions, like watching over her nephew while he travels to the land of lightning. She was just curious about these things. She has a long list of things we can do for her husband. This is the best. Ahem, my husband can't sail to a place fast enough. Maybe a ninja who can control the wind could get him to and from his fishing spot in the same week. Naruto, you may have cost us a little, but you've given us back a lot more. So what? That one alone will be the end of a B-rank mission because there aren't any ninja in Konoha who can use wind. Most use jutsus like lightning and fire. Earth and water ones are less common. But almost no one uses the wind. The genin seemed puzzled. I thought you just made the hand signs and focused your chakra to use a jutsu, Sakura said in the simplest version. Why couldn't someone use the wind if they wanted to? Kakashi, do you think they'll get it? Yes, they are smarter than I expected. Even more so Naruto. He may not be as smart as the others, but he learns quickly about battle and life. Alright. Non-elemental chakra is what you three know about at this point. This is what every jutsu uses. The elemental chakra is the last one. These are water, fire, wind, lightning, and the earth. These things are very easy for someone with wind. Lightning is not as simple, but it's close. Earth and water aren't too different from other jutsu. While it's nearly impossible to do fire. The one to the right is weaker than the one before it in the order I said them. So, Sasuke said, I'm a fire type. Probably, replied Sarutobi. Sakura, you seem to be from the earth. And Naruto? I have no idea. He is like a flash of lightning. With one bright flash, it's gone. Sarutobi, Kakashi, and Sakura laughed at the joke, while Sasuke grinned. Perhaps we are fire, said Naruto. If that's the case, we might be able to use them to get you out of that chair where you're ruining our robes. You aren't the Hokage yet, Sarutobi told him. Iruka, I need 3 pieces of chakra paper. Can you get them for me? He gave a nod and went. Let's go to missions now. Hokage-sama, I think they need a more difficult mission. They were able to catch Tora easily, so they are ready for it. Alright, I have a few here. I think this is exactly what you need. Iruka opened the door for the Hokage and gave him the paper. It took me a little while, but I got them. He gave them to the genin and gave them instructions on how to use them. When Sasuke sent his chakra through it, it crumpled and then caught fire. Sakura did what he did, and so did hers. Naruto was last to go. Someone cut him in half. The first piece was already wet when the second one fell. Naruto knelt down and put the paper in his pocket. He was looking for information. Sasuke, you are fire and lightning. You are all earth, Sakura. Naruto, it looks like you are good at both water and wind. You might make your weapons this way. Now, get on with your job. Tizuna, come on in. A man with a beer gut and a bamboo hat walked in. He had a bottle of sake in his hand. These three are guarding me. I didn't want a daycare, I wanted a ninja team. 3. Asked the Hokage. Naruto wasn't where he used to be. Do we look like we need a daycare? Naruto asked as he tapped Tizuna's cheek with a kunai that was hanging from the ceiling. Well, if you say it like that. Naruto took off his gloves when no one was looking as they walked. He put the second half of his chakra paper between his hands and tried again. Just the middle was cut out. He put the paper back in his pocket and put his gloves back on. Then he thought about this. Since Venom was almost as good as living water, it made sense. Naruto let his senses look for trouble while Sakura and Tizuna talked about the land of waves. And it got there before them. Naruto kept looking for it as they got closer, but he didn't see it. The feeling of danger eventually moved to the ground. Naruto kept going after it until he came to a puddle. As he looked at it, he turned his head to the side. He never made a mistake, but nothing seemed dangerous. But, once again, he was always right. He made a fist and hit the puddle with it. The two Chunin jumped out just in time to avoid it. They put a chain around Naruto. That's one. None down, Naruto said after the chain on his blades was cut. Naruto grabbed the head of the one on the left, twisted, and used him to lift himself into the air. He hit the other Chunin with his boot. He went back and crashed into a tree. He got back up with a grunt of pain and ran straight for Tizuna. Sakura ran up to him and tripped him up, while Sasuke put his knee on his back. Tizuna looked at both the man on the ground and the other man. He didn't know if that one was still alive or not. Not likely, considering the angle of his neck. Wow. I was expecting to have to get involved, Kakashi said. Naruto, how did you know that they were there? It was a puddle, Naruto said as if it were clear. Both he and Venom thought fast about how to hide his ability. It hasn't rained in a while, so why was this here? Kakashi gave a nod. Right, but you could have waited until after they attacked so we could find out what they wanted. Naruto said, Tizuna, pointing to the paralyzed ninja. He was running toward him. Tizuna, I need to talk to you. Naruto had not been paying attention to what was being said. He was always going. There was never any doubt about that. That was all he was. He felt. As he walked through the mist on the island. Feeling shaky? What's up? Something he had never done before. And that made him smile, so he put on his mask. Sakura asked, how does he do that? As Naruto faded in and out of sight when he had been clear just a moment before. Kakashi told her, he's covering up everything that could be seen. That white can be seen, but the yellow gives us something to focus on so that others can see him. Just like that haze he made back during the bell test, Sasuke said as a conclusion. Yes, just like that. It's easy to lose track of something when you don't have anything to focus on. Eventually, Naruto went away for good. And when he wasn't there, they felt like they were being chased. Sakura started to hum the theme song from an old TV show called The Twilight Zone. Hey, Naruto said when he walked up to them. Ah. Sakura yelled, and then she hit Naruto several times on the head. "Don't ever scare me like that again, you stupid, whiskered-faced blonde." Naruto just laughed while he let her do it, but as soon as she stopped, he got back to work. "Kakashi-sensei, I feel like something is coming up ahead of us, but I don't know what." "What does that mean?" asked Sasuke. "I am never wrong with my feelings," Naruto said in response. "I'm sure there are two people waiting for us by the lake ahead," he said, and then he went back into the fog. This time, without moving. "Will you please stop doing that?" Naruto said, "No," in her ear, which made her jump. Kakashi gave a sigh. Naruto was obviously not polished. But it was clear that he would be a hunter nin. He had a mask already. 4 people and a ghost went for a walk by the lake. The mist got thicker, which showed that Naruto was right. Naruto appeared out of nowhere and threw kunai at a bush, then up at a tree, then at a tree to their right. Sakura yelled, "Naruto, take off that stupid cloak and dagger." "Kakashi-sensei, he is bigger than you and has a large sword," Naruto said. "Come on out, Zabuza," Kakashi said. The sword Naruto was talking about cut into the tree, and he walked out on it. Long time." "Yeah," said Zabuza. He glared at Naruto and said, "It must have been, what, 14 years, before you became a Jonin. You ruined my big entrance." "And we are sure it would have been epic," Naruto said. "But there's no point in crying over spilt milk. We'll guess that you want Tazuna." "Kid, you've hit the nail on the head." "Sorry, Zabuza, I can't let you have him," Kakashi said. "So, we don't agree again," Zabuza said. "Think that one of us will die this time?" "Probably, but it's always been probably," he said. "I don't want to bother you, but could you tell us lowly genin what's going on?" "Oh, we've been competing against each other for years," Zabuza said. "Kakashi and his fang against me in my Zanbatu. I heard it was broken? It was my team's last mission." "Too bad," Zabuza said, shrugging. Naruto grabbed Tazuna, Sakura, and Sasuke and jumped over the trees to hide them. "That kid is cool." "You have no idea," Kakashi said. "I've been wondering how you've changed since the last time we fought," he said as he took off his headband to show the Sharingan. "I also heard you got a Sharingan, but I didn't believe it." Sasuke heard that, so he went to check it out for himself. "Don't," Naruto said to him. "You don't get it. What I mean is..." "Don't," Naruto said again. "Just wait, for now our job is to stay out of their way and protect Tazuna. We'll put the screws on him later to get information, but right now we need to find the second guy." Naruto shut his eyes and tried to concentrate. "He doesn't say much. It's hard for me to find him." She asked, "Where is he?" He kept looking for him until the second person sat down on a branch, which barely moved. "Naruto has had enough." "There he is," Naruto said with happiness. "In the oak tree, halfway between us and them." They all gave each other a nod and jumped into the trees. They went around the person and waited for a chance to get close. Naruto made a shuriken with 3 blades and threw it. When it hit the tree, the person's clothes got caught in it. He turned around to see it. Then the 3 genin surrounded him. As the weapon broke apart, the ninja ducked under Sakura and threw her back to the ground. Then he dodged Naruto's kick, which left him with wide eyes. He was grabbed by the collar and thrown into Sasuke. "Nice try," a pleasant voice said. He tried to move, but his feet wouldn't move. When he looked down, he saw that he was stuck in a web. Naruto yelled, "Gotcha!" as he dive-kicked the other ninja. Both of them fell to the ground, too shocked to move. Naruto was holding 2 soft balls of flesh that could only be found on women. After a moment of looking at each other's masks, Naruto jumped up and said, "Sorry." The girl sat up and spoke in a humble way. "A genin just touched me inappropriately." "You are a hunter nin," Sasuke said as he came down to them. I am, she said in reply. Then you must be after Zabuza, Sakura said as she hobbled over. Excuse me, she said, and then she turned to Naruto. His spider sense told him something was wrong, but he was too shocked to move. He was in too much pain to move the next second. Sakura yelled, "You pervert," as she put her foot back on the ground. After a minute, Naruto stood up straight. Hunter-chan, we're so sorry. Please forgive us. It's fine, she replied. What the heck are you three doing here? We knew there was another person here, so while Kakashi-sensei fought Zabuza, we went to deal with them. I see, said the girl. Well, you don't need to watch me since I'm not here to fight you. That made two of them nod. It wasn't Naruto. What's the matter, Dobi? Yeah, it's just a feeling. And your feelings are never wrong, Sakura said to end. Yes, and this time they say there's more up here than we know. He looked at the hunter Nin. And they're all about you. Is there anything you'd like to say? She turned her head toward Zabuza and Kakashi. That your sensei got caught. Shit, Naruto yelled when he realized the same thing. Sakura, watch over Tazuna. Sasuke, Hunter-chan, we need to go save him. I hit better when I'm hidden, she said. She jumped into the trees again and was gone. Naruto and Sasuke came out of the trees just in time to see Zabuza raise his sword and get ready to hit Kakashi, who was trapped inside a sphere of water clones, with it. So long, Kakashi. I got the sword, Naruto said to Sasuke. Get rid of the clones, Naruto said. He shot the web from his hand, hit the sword, and pulled it out of his hand. At the same time, Sasuke grabbed a few kunai and threw them at the clones. They were much better than that, though. Run. He can't get very far if he doesn't get rid of the clones. Kakashi-sensei, the mission was over the moment you were caught, Naruto said. He beat you. If he comes after us, how can we win? You can't, said Zabuza. He took the Zanbatsu from one of his clones and went back to the Genin. He saw Naruto taking a look at the Zanbatsu. It's a Zanbatsu called Kiri, and it's a good weapon, right? Then Naruto did something strange. He threw it up in the air and caught it by the handle. He threw it into a tree and said, "Very nice. We hope you don't mind." Don't mind what? I asked. A black staff is growing out of my hand, he said. Then, as it went up, his hand flattened out and the curve on the side got sharper. There was a hole in the tip, and there was a notch near the handle. It was a copy of the Kiri in black. We make weapons, said Naruto. He looked down and tried to walk on the water. But he was unable to. If you want to kill Tazuna, you will have to go through us. Well, I'll try to help, Zabuza said. He ran toward Naruto and locked blades with him. Don't just stand there, Sasuke. Either help us or kill the clones. Sasuke gritted his teeth, but he turned to Kakashi anyway. Fireball no jutsu. It flew at them, causing water to evaporate as it did so. The first copy was destroyed when it was hit. There were 3 more, though. Naruto fought back against the swordsman by pushing him away. Before he fell and went away, Zabuza fell to the ground and turned around. He looked over and saw Naruto standing nearby with his Zanbatsu on his back. He was making a sign with his hands that looked like a yin-yang. Haze no jutsu. A dark cloud covered them, and Naruto disappeared. Did you know there are 8 places on the body that almost guarantee a kill? Naruto asked from nowhere and everywhere at the same time. That is my line, kid, Zabuza said. He closed his eyes and listened. Do you want to be a master of silent killing? You're off to a great start. This kid was so good that when he moved, he didn't even make a sound. But there. Zabuza kicked him in the shoulder and said, there. Naruto turned around the kick and hit him with the Zanbatsu. Zabuza put down his gun and picked up the copy. He kicked the kid in the chest, sending him into a tree. Very good, easily as good as the original. Now you will die by your own weapon. Zabuza walked up to him, lifted the sword, and brought it down. 14. 15, Naruto said with a grin. Just before it could cut Naruto in half, the blade broke apart. He stood up and wiped the dust off of himself. He kicked Zabuza in the stomach and sent him into a tree, saying, "And now you have no weapon." Before he went on, he spun, made several shadow shurikens, and threw them while Sasuke used another jutsu to destroy a clone. As Kakashi stood up, water fell all around him. "We can't live with them anymore," Kakashi said before he shushined and grabbed Zabuza's hand as he reached for the Kiri. 2 genin killed the demon of the mist. The one in black is different. I didn't give him enough credit. Tricky things, ranks, said Kakashi. They only tell you information if that's the rank they deserve. His Sharingan spun as he pulled a fist back and punched Zabuza in the face while dodging Zabuza's punch. Zabuza was trying to get back on his feet when Kakashi jumped back onto the water. Ram, bird, money, horse, serpent, dog. He slammed his hand into the water, and it sounded like singing came from the bottom. I learned this in snow a few years ago. Have fun. Kakashi jumped out of the way as an ice narwhal shot out of the water and landed where Zabuza had been. He was able to get out of the way, but not when the whale broke apart and ice spears flew everywhere. Sasuke tried to get away from all of them, but there were too many. Even though he didn't want to admit it, he knew that Kakashi and Naruto could avoid them, but he didn't have the skill. I'm going to die here, he said. For a moment, his eyes got brighter, but then he shut them as the wall of spears was about to hit him. Well, that's strange, Naruto said right in front of Sasuke. He had his hands on the ground and was looking at a black wall that caught all the pieces of ice. They stopped a half-inch away from Naruto's mask. When Naruto stood up, he looked back at Sasuke. Alright, buddy. Hey, you have nice eyes. Sasuke really wanted to bark. He beat Naruto for Rookie of the Year, but Naruto was at least 10 steps ahead of him the whole time. Eye? Yeah, they look like Kakashi-sensei's weird eye, the red one with 3 dots. Yours only have 2 dots, but you have both, he said, turning back to Zabuza. He was stuck with a sharp object in his right shoulder and left hip. We'll bet that hurts. He was turned around by Sasuke. Are you kidding? Do my eyes really look different? Naruto took off his mask and let Sasuke look into his eyes to see himself. They are. How did you do that? It adds a great touch to your glare. Sasuke was happy. You can't do it, it's in my blood. I guess I should thank you for saving my life. Hey, what are friends for? We know you'll do the same when you're better than us, he said, putting out his hand. But for now, we need to make sure Zabuza is out, Naruto said as he put his mask back on and turned to face Zabuza. He took the 2 pieces of ice out of his body. Damn, he muttered. It looks like I'll die here. Kakashi took out a kunai and was about to throw it right into Zabuza's eye. He said, see you when I get to where you're going. But several things had already killed it. That was amazing, the hunter nin said as she fell to the ground. She walked over to Zabuza and said, so you're Sharingan Kakashi. I wish I could spar with you, but I have work to do. Those must have hurt, she said as she looked at his injuries. Hold it, said Naruto. Make sure, something other than the symbiont said. You might be working with him after all, he said. He walked over to see if the man was still alive. Not a thing. He let a breath out. We apologize once again. That's fine. Hey, if we run into each other again, show me your face, and I'll show you mine. Naruto was shocked by how openly she just flirted with him. The hunter nin took the body and left. What did she say? Asked Sasuke. Ah, Naruto said, so she had to go take care of the body. He was already dead, Kakashi-sensei. Good. He got down on his knees. He looked up again. Looks like I overdid it. I guess I haven't been working out enough since I became a sensei. Sasuke, go get Sakura and Tazuna. We're going to his house, and I'll need Naruto's help to get there. Haku took the shinbon out of the way carefully and pulled out a knife. Okay, take off the head and drain the blood from the body. How do I plan to get rid of it this time? Zabuza used the knife to grab the hand. In full and without wasting time. Ruin my fun, she said with a pout. Before he started to sit up, Zabuza rolled his eyes. A choice he felt bad about. How long will it be until you can heal these? It will be a big deal if you can move freely again in 3 weeks. Damn. How close to done will the bridge worker be by then? Very, Haku said in reply. But right now, the only ones who can fight are the genin. If you'd like. No. The boy with dark hair is average and doesn't matter much. But we can use the one in black. Haku, try to convince him to join us. We'll hit them when I'm able to. Haku gave a small smile. Yes, Mr. Zabuza. When they got there, Naruto asked Kakashi-sensei, can you show us how you walked on the water like that? We promise that we won't ask for anything else until this mission is over. Naruto, that's a skill for controlling chakra. When Naruto dropped his head, he smiled behind his mask. Naruto was terrible at controlling his chakra. He only used a few jutsus and more taijutsu because of this. So, if you want to be able to do that, you'll have to learn the first step. We have a month to do it, so we will. Hello, Master Kakashi. Naruto got up and started walking toward the door. Before he went the other way. Kakashi-sensei, when a girl says, you show me yours and I'll show you mine, is she flirting? So you like her? Kakashi seemed dumbfounded. Yes, that's how it usually works. Okay. We didn't know. He left the room, and the Jonin was left wondering who would say that to him. Sakura would never do something like that. The next morning, Kakashi took them out into the forest. Okay, you all want to learn how to walk on water, right? They gave a nod. Then first you have to be able to climb trees without using your hands. When he saw that Sasuke's eyes were now Sharingan instead of black, he raised an eyebrow. Here's what you do. To hold on to the tree, just focus your chakra on your feet. Easy to say, but hard to do. He climbed the tree with his crutches. Naruto said, that's pretty cool. This is what you meant before the test, the teacher said. Yes. We don't know if we can stop our Kekkei Genkai from climbing up if we don't have it. Naruto didn't like what he saw. He never did try to figure out how to stop it. He was never told not to climb a wall. Then you will have to work to gain that control, Kakashi told him. Take it at a run, Sakura and Sasuke, to show Naruto what he is missing. Sasuke smiled at that. They ran and did what Kakashi told them to. Sasuke got up 7 feet before he fell back down because he was using too much chakra. Even though Sakura got to the top. You did a great job, Sakura. I guess I'll get you going on the next exercise right away. Wait, said Sasuke. Could you show me again? I'll be more careful. Sakura was happy. Sure, why not? She ran to the tree while Sasuke used his Sharingan to keep an eye on everything. He saw the chakra come out of her feet and wrap around the tree. Seen it this time? That's all it takes? Sasuke asked in shock. Thanks a lot, Sakura, you really helped me. He went to his tree and put his foot up against it until he knew how it felt. He then switched feet and did the same thing with the other foot. He did it over and over until he felt like each time was the same. He turned around and ran up the tree. He didn't quite get to the top, but he got far enough that it didn't matter. "That's very impressive, Sasuke," he said. He gave his two students a smile. "Naruto, since no one else can help you with this, I'm going to teach these two how to walk on water." "Hello, Master Kakashi." Tsunami took a look outside. "Are you sure he'll be okay?" asked Tsunami. "It can be dangerous to be out in these woods." "Don't worry about the Dobi," Sasuke said. "In the end, he's nearly as good as me." "Don't know why he is training," Inari, Tsunami's son, said. "He will continue to be weak." All three ninja told him, "That's where you're wrong." "Naruto was the reason why we were able to beat Zabuza," Sasuke told him. He was embarrassed, but he had to say it. He hadn't been nearly as useful as Naruto. I believe he would have won. He might not have killed him, but he did beat him up. Sakura asked, "I know Naruto is good, but is he really that good?" "He is," Kakashi said. He thought of a way to beat Zabuza by himself. He would have been right if he had kept pushing his advantage. "I'm sure he can take the Chunin test right now. He is not stronger than Gato at all." Sasuke was happy. "That man doesn't have any power of his own. He would have killed your grandfather himself if that hadn't happened. He only has money, that's all." "What are you talking about? You live in a village where nothing bad ever happens." Sasuke almost slammed his bowl down with a clink. "Tough times? You think things are hard for you?" "I know that I do." "Sasuke, he doesn't know," Kakashi said. "Do you know what it feels like to be hugged by your mother? When your grandfather put his hand on your shoulder, how strong did it feel? When you do something wrong and get yelled at for it, but also because they want you to have the best life possible? Do you always have someone to help you?" "I've always been happy to see you, and I always will." When I realized that Naruto was stronger than me, I decided to follow him to find out his secret. I never did find it. We both don't have any of those things. But I used to know it. Naruto didn't do it. It's even worse. In my village, there have always been people to look out for me. Naruto was alone all his life. People who wanted him dead gave him the coldest, most hateful looks. That last part made Inari look shocked. "You're right. Most people in our village want to kill Naruto, a 12-year-old boy who has never done anything wrong except for a few jokes. He is strong enough for them to like him. To keep these people safe." He took a deep breath and sat back down. "If you want to cry, go ahead. I don't know what you lost and I don't care. But don't ever say that things haven't been hard for us. Even more so in Naruto's presence." It was almost midnight before Naruto gave up and took off his shoes. Then he was able to get going. Early in the morning, he fell asleep where he was. When he felt someone shake him, he opened his eyes. All right, we're up." He looked through his mask and saw another. "Hunter-chan? Hi, it's morning. Would you like to use what I said?" Naruto just shook his head to get the dust out of his brain. She didn't mean to hurt him, or his spider sense would have made him wake up. Plus, she would have used the fact that he was asleep against him. What was it that you said again?" She started to sulk. "I told you that if you showed me your face, I would show you mine. How could you have forgotten in 3 days? We have been very busy." He looked at her sideways. She didn't look that much older than him. How old are you? How old are you?" "The answer is 13. "Wow, a hunter nin already, that's impressive. We will be like that before we become Hokage. Wow, that must take a lot of strength. Are you sure you can do it? You should probably just settle for being a hunter nin." "No. We are doing everything we can. So, shouldn't we talk about our names before we talk about our faces?" she was unsure. I'm not allowed to tell you that. A handle then, Naruto said. You can refer to us as Venom. Ice. Well, Ice, we've been training for a while, so if you'll let us stretch to work our muscles, we can keep going. He stood up and stretched a bit. Can we ask you what element you are? No. Sorry, we were hoping you could give us some advice in ours. We have equal control over water and wind. Ice was surprised to see him. As well? As in a family tree? Right, Naruto replied. I have them both, so I've been wondering what jutsus I could use. You can use ice, she said. Ice? We thought that earth, fire, wind, water, and lightning were the 5 elements. It's true. But when you have a Kekkei Genkai for 2 of them, they often combine to make a new one. Water and wind make ice? She told him, yes. That was something my family could do. Ice formed around her hand from the water in the air, making a kunai. Wow. He was amazed by what he saw. Oh, well, here. He took off his mask and showed that he had blonde hair and blue eyes. It's great to meet you, Ice-chan. As she took off her mask, she smiled. I'm glad to meet you, Venom-kun. Naruto was slammed into the wall by a red hand that was 12 feet long and connected to a red and black body. In the other hand of the red figure was a dark-haired girl with pale skin. He knew her name was Ice. And she could no longer breathe because her throat was being squeezed. Send her away. Naruto put his hands on the one that was red. He tried to get free, but he couldn't. The person was just laughing. What's the matter? Don't like to see someone who was nice to you die? He laughed again and then threw the body away. Don't worry, I'm going to take a lot more from you. There are a lot of people I would like to kill while you watch. What about that girl from Hyuga? I know you like how she looks. He pulled Hinata back with the other claw. Help me, Naruto-kun. Don't do anything to hurt her. He broke the claws that were holding him to the wall with his hands and ran to free her. But several tentacles came out of the body of the figure and stuck her. He let her fall, and Naruto picked her up right before she died. You're a monster. What? I wasn't able to hear you. I couldn't help but laugh. You sick monster. Naruto went for his own neck. Who are you the hell? What are you doing? Naruto moved away as the haze around the figure went away. Me? I am death. He's gone. Cassidy was murdered. But he isn't the man behind the mask, Carnage said as he stabbed Naruto. He got close to him. Do you want to know who someone really is? The mask came apart at the mouth, revealing a crazy face. Naruto said, you, to himself. Naruto opened his eyes and put his arms out in front of him. We hate that terrible nightmare. He turned his head and took a look around. On another day, he worked out all day. Venom, why do I have that dream over and over again? The symbiont told him that it was because it was afraid that he would become like that one day. It wasn't strange that he thought the symbiont would turn him into a monster. He and Carnage both seemed stuck with the sociopaths. Good people were only ever given to hybrid and toxic. So far, anyway. 2 years of being friends with a host is a new record. Naruto did his stretches and then looked at the clearing. After 5 days, it was a war zone. And Ice was on his way back. Morning, he said as she came up behind him. Hi, it's morning. I see you slept outside again, she said with a frown. At this rate, you're going to get sick. When we do, we are plenty warm. She told him that a costume and a mask weren't enough. This is a suit. Maybe you'd like to stay tonight and find out? You're sweet, Venom, but not that sweet. Now that I think about it, why are you still here? Ice turned into snow. What exactly do you mean? Your task is done. Why then stay? Because there's this cute boy who made a bad first impression, but I like him anyway. She sat down by his side. So. May I ask you something? You just did it, but go ahead. Would you like to come with me? Nani? He couldn't believe what he was seeing. Just like that, you're going to leave our village? She moved on. It was a stupid question. No, it wasn't, Naruto said. Our house isn't very nice. But if you knew the truth about us, you would dislike us too. I wouldn't do that. You were kind, but you were also strong in battle. You can keep your two lives separate with just a little quirk. I like you a lot and want to learn more about you. If we were demons, could you like us? Something terrible? What on earth are you talking about? About something we shouldn't talk. Not if you don't want to hate us, too. He sat down. It's likely that we should go meet with our team. We've been gone for some time. We'll see you next time we go to training. He walked back to Tezuna's house, and until he was out of sight, he could feel her eyes on him the whole time. Naruto said, "We are back," as he walked in. Sakura yelled at him, "What took you so long?" We were very worried. Naruto turned his head to look. Why? There's nothing dangerous here. Yeah, except for Zabuza and his partner, Sasuke told him. We made sure Zabuza was dead, and he was. You sure? Then how did they get rid of his body? By. You can't say because you don't know, Sakura told him. Let's try this. With what did she kill him? The word is Shinban. Alright. She used needles to kill a Jonin who was on the same level as Kakashi-sensei. Hunter-chan, did you lie to us? To us? He was talking to himself in the second part. Sasuke asked, "Why would you be so special?" No, we're not. We just did the check-in. We'll see you again soon. Kakashi saw him walk away. Sasuke, do as he says. I have a feeling he's going to have to make a tough choice. Sasuke muttered, everyone in their feelings, but he did what he was told. Naruto said, "Hello, Ice-chan," when he got back. But he wasn't as excited about it as he was before. What's the matter, Venom-kun? What happened to Zabuza-san? For the first time since she met him, she hesitated. Do you still have his hat? His blade? His head still? She did not answer. Aren't you working with him? She looked down, and that was all Naruto needed to know. He put his hand behind him and pulled his mask up. We're sorry, Ice-chan, but we no longer have time to train with you. He turned around and left. As he went by a tree, he called out, "Hey, Sasuke." After that, Naruto went to stay with Tezuna. He didn't want to take another chance on running into Ice-chan. He did not have anything else to do, so he practiced walking up and down the pillars. When using chakra made him feel weak, he would just have Venom give him back his boots and climb back up. Then, when the work was done, someone opened a bottle of sake. They got drunk, and one of them dared him to show them something ninja. He wasn't going to waste his time on something like that because they were drunk. So he just took a steel rebar and bent it into a pretzel shape. As he threw it behind him and jumped up on a post again, they all dropped their jaws, cups, and stared at him. Holy shit, said one of them. Right then, Naruto didn't care if he scared them or not. He only cared that someone he wanted to be his friend or even the one person he could be honest with had been lying to him the whole time. He took Tezuna back to his house, then vanished into the night. Again, Sakura told Kakashi he did it. He put a lot of faith in her. I wonder what she told him to make him believe her so much. Kakashi asked him, Sasuke, when you were listening to them talk, did you hear anything that could help? No. What was said, I already told you. Do you know where he went? I'm not sure. If I get better, I'll be able to follow him, but until then, I can't. tiger, ram, and ox. When he put his hands on the river, ice grew from them for about a foot before stopping. He frowned, then raised his fist and broke the ice block. What do you want us to do, Venom? We should learn everything that doesn't hurt our honor if we want to get stronger. We can't stand to use that, though. The symbiont didn't know what to say to him. Its feelings were just the place where it lived. Venom-san, it said to him from behind. As Ice-chan came out of the forest, Naruto turned around and almost growled. He ought to have paid attention. Yes, he said, and his voice was as cold as ice. It made Haku sad. I am sorry, Venom-san, that I broke your trust. Sorry won't make us feel better. But forgiveness will, she told him, taking another step toward him. I lied, and I'm sorry. Please forgive me. What's the point, Ice-chan? Are you going to let us take care of Zabuza? She didn't want to say it, but Haku forced her to. No. Well, we didn't think so. He turned around to leave, but Ice-chan caught him in her arms. You don't understand, she said to him over his shoulder. He saved me and took me in when no one else would help me. He's very important to me. When she said that, Naruto didn't have any trouble. When she grabbed him, he could have gotten away, but he chose to listen to her. A person is really strong when they fight for someone they care about. The man you were trying to kill's grandson was told something similar by his father, who was killed by your boss. Say, I'm sorry. Why even are you here, Ice-chan? I don't know, was all she could say. I had to try to say I'm sorry. I don't want you to feel bad about me. He didn't want to dislike her, though. In her arms, he turned around and lifted her chin. You were hated because of how good you were, right? Yes. My dad tried to kill me but didn't succeed. Don't say anything that you don't want to. I do. He killed my mother in front of me, and then he turned his sword on me. But I killed him with my ice. Naruto gave her a hug. We're very sorry, Ice-chan. Haku, I'm Haku, he said. Naruto took his mask off. We are Naruto and Uzumaki. And people also hate us. We were sealed with a demon, and many people think we are the demon. She whispered into his chest, Naruto, please come with me. I don't want to fight with you. No, we can't just ignore this. If we do that, Gato will have complete control over this country. We won't let him hurt any more people. All right then. She took a step back and wiped her tears away. If that's how things have to be. She began to walk away. She wasn't going back to her base, though. If Gato is responsible for all of this, he will have to die. Haku-chan. As the way he felt about her changed, Naruto told her. What do you plan on doing? I'll do what I have to. Naruto stood and watched her leave. He wanted to go after her, but it was getting late and he had to go back. Haku-chan, meet us here tomorrow night. Yes, oh. He felt better as he walked back to Tezuna's house than he had in 3 days. He said, we're back, as he walked in. Sakura asked, where did you go? She was shocked because she hadn't seen his face since it came out that his friend was Zabuza's ally. We needed to clear our heads. We feel better, in fact. He smiled as he reached up to touch the ceiling and stretched. But as he got colder, that smile started to fade. Does that make you feel like that? His eyes got bigger and his breath got cloudy. Mom, said Inari as he ran into the house. A huge crystal is growing in the far port. Crystal, Naruto thought for a second. Ice. As he ran out the door, he pulled his mask up. Sakura followed him outside and asked him what he was talking about, but he didn't have time to answer. He threw a web at 2 trees and shot into the air with a slingshot. Using a memory he got from the first host, he made small wings out of webbing and put them between his arms and torso. He was able to glide for a little while before he landed. He ran away because he didn't want to waste time getting another shot off. He found a man stuck to a tree with an ice spear. His clothes told everyone he was a thief. But this wasn't an easy place for thieves to get to. He had to work for Gatu. And the first Venom and the one before him taught him that where one thief was, a lot more were waiting. We hope that she hasn't taken on more than she can handle. He kept running and saw more dead men that Haku had killed. When he got to the port, he saw that a wall had been broken into pieces. He also found evidence that at least 200 thieves lived there. "Gatu, come on out here," he heard Haku call. "Get out of here so I can kill you." He ran to the wall and jumped up on it. In this city, the buildings were higher than where Tazuna lived, but not high enough to web-sling from. He climbed up on one and started jumping from roof to get to where he heard it. He went to the last roof before the docks and looked out. Haku was running through the bandits to get to this short man in a suit. She did it, and she was getting stabbed. Haku. He jumped down, grabbed her, and used a web to pull himself and her back up. He took the weapons off her back and arms and put bandages on the worst cuts. "What were you doing? You said you'd meet us the next day." She told him, "Gatu is what's keeping us apart. I don't want to be alone without you, Naruto-kun." As she talked, blood was coming down the side of her mouth. "No. You shouldn't have done that. You ought to have caught us." "No." He thought of both Venom and Spider-Man. Spider-Man stood by as Gwen Stacy died in his arms. Venom watched as Carnage killed the woman he loved. "No." Before it hit the ground, Haku pressed her hand to his face. "Really moving," Gatu said. "Boy, I have to thank you. If you hadn't saved her, she would have killed me if she got to me." Before getting up, Naruto put her hands on her stomach. Then he turned to face the group. "We'll have to change that." The symbiont got smoother and no longer had any holes. Besides one. The mask split over his mouth, and the edges turned into teeth. Naruto knew that the Kyuubi's chakra was pouring out from inside himself, but he didn't care. Still more than 200 bandits looked at the boy as his spider disappeared and his black clothes turned red. "Ha ha." He ran forward, and his claws shot out in front of him. He tore out throats, cut open stomachs, and cut off arms. Once he got to them, the symbiont's tendrils shot out and stabbed everything around him. He ran and killed all the time. No one could get away from him at that moment. Besides one guy in the back. "Ha ha ha. Do you want to die? This is going to be fun. Please, I'll give you anything. Money, power, and what?" One of the claws came up under his chin and shut his mouth. Then his tongue went up through it and just touched the roof of his mouth. "Shut the heck up. Die with some respect." "What? And Naruto? Who is Venom-kun?" "Naruto is not me. I'm not like Venom. I am death." Two white arms as cold as ice wrapped themselves around his waist. "Please don't turn into this, Naruto. We're good. What's up?" Naruto put Gatu down and turned around. There, Haku was wrapped in a white symbiont. A blue spider like his was on her chest, and blue holes like his were on top of her. She didn't have her mouth or chin covered by her symbiont. It ended before her hair, too. How? How is this possible? We watched you die. He went back to looking like himself. "We don't know," she told him. "We're just what we are." Gatu was crying and trying to get away from them from behind. But a web hit him in the leg and pulled him back to Naruto. "You told us that you'd give us something. Money, right?" Gatu could not speak, so he just nodded. "Your money, all of it, is in one of your, no doubt, many bank accounts." Gatu put his hand in the pocket of his coat, which was shaking, and pulled out a pen and paper. Before he knew his leg was broken, he started writing down a number. "You lied," said Naruto. Gato wrote down both the correct number and the code. It went to Naruto. "I'd like another one now." Gato wrote another letter quickly and gave it to him. "That will go a long way to make up for what you have done here," Naruto told him. Gato tried to say something to ask if he could go now. "We never said we would let you go," Naruto told him. "This is just to see how fast or slow we can kill you. You should have spat in our faces and told us to go to hell, you coward." Naruto pulled him to the middle of the bodies by the leg that was broken. Then, he broke the rest of his body parts. "We are not going to kill you," Naruto told him. "But you're going to die anyway. The crime must match the punishment. It will work. You were given the arms of a hero of this country. You made it lose hope. We've taken your arms and legs. Now, we'll take away your hope." He picked up one of the limbs that had been cut off and squeezed it over Gato. "Eventually, you'll smell like the dead people here. And the people who eat trash will come. And you won't be strong enough or smart enough to stop them from eating you. And until you die, you get to watch the men you hired get eaten." He used some webs to hold him in place. Just to be certain. He turned and Haku followed him as he walked away. "Naruto, you really shouldn't have done that to him." Naruto said, "He hurt you, Haku-chan," as he ran a finger along her cheek. "He has hurt a lot of people. He needs to get what's coming to him." As they walked away from the port, she was quiet for a while. "Carnage, that red form you took was because of the demon, right?" "It had to be." "Haku-chan, we're sorry you had to see that." She gave a head shake. "It's fine with us, Naruto-kun." She gave him a hug and took off his mask. "We are just glad to have you." She gave him a kiss on the mouth. She felt something fall into her hands. This was for whatever Zabuza wanted. It was a number for one of the accounts. "We can't accept this," said Haku. "Do accept it," Naruto said. "I don't want Zabuza to go on any more missions like this. I want him to stay alive. We care too much about him to let him save you." Haku turned and looked at Naruto. Her symbiont shrunk from being a suit to being a necklace. "We're not going to see you again, are we?" "Haku-chan, we're going to try. We don't want to be without you for one more day. But we can't leave Konoha, and neither can you." Haku gave him another hug. He didn't want to believe it, but he knew it was true. "Naruto, we will miss you." She turned and walked away, and Naruto found it very hard to watch her leave. But all he could do was turn around and walk away. Haku told him, "Zabuza-sama, Gato is dead," when she came into his room. "Damn, he still hadn't paid us yet. We have his account number and his password." She gave the note to him. "He was killed by you?" "We didn't do that. After I tried to kill Naruto, the boy in black did it. He got the note and gave it to us so we could give it to you." "Why?" "Because you helped us, Zabuza-sama. Zabuza-sama, we think we're in love with him." He looked at her sideways. During this meeting, she had changed how she talked and how she carried herself. "What did he do to hurt you?" "Zabuza-sama, we don't know. But it made us stronger." "And I don't like it," said Zabuza. "In Konoha, there is a ninja named Orochimaru who is a traitor. He gives people a seal that changes them. If they make it, they will go to him." Haku told him, "It's not like that. He didn't want it to happen, but it did anyway. We went because we first fell in love with him." Zabuza lay down again. He didn't like what had happened, even though he didn't know why it had happened. But the kid didn't try to get Haku, and he gave the money back. "Haku, if I get what I want, I won't mind if you go after him." When Haku hugged him, he groaned. "Thank you, Mr. Zabuza. I'll make sure that everything is in order so that we can go do it now." Zabuza sighed as she ran out of the room. You can't fake or make yourself feel that way. What's that? When I become the Mizukage, I will have to go to Konoha and see him. The door went open and shut. Naruto said as he walked in, the mission is almost over. How so? Kakashi asked as he did push-ups with one finger. Gato is dead, said Naruto. He let his cane fall to the ground. He was the only one in the room who didn't look at it. Kakashi asked, do you know what you just did? We defended a friend, Naruto said in response. By doing that, we killed the boss of Zabuza. Since he isn't getting paid, he has no reason to finish the job. Most likely, the CEO is less of a jerk. He is, said Kakashi. But a death like that will definitely be noticed. His own thugs killed him, Naruto said with a shrug. Some of them didn't think they were getting paid enough, so they decided to turn on the others. They all died from fighting. And the noise brought us over, so we took care of the rest. When we were looking for people who might still be alive, we found him already dead. If his broken limbs are any indication, he had been crushed to death. You tortured him before you killed him, Sakura said. Naruto asked her in a serious way, did he deserve less? And it was nothing compared to what a professional could have and would have done. Are you sure, kid? Asked Tizuna. He really is dead? Believe him, Sasuke told him. He can't laugh when he's on a mission. He looked at Naruto, whose clothes were still stained with blood, and wondered if this was what would happen to him if he got revenge. Naruto, was it all worth it? We didn't hurt him for ourselves. We hurt him because he hurt so many people. We killed him because he was going to hurt other people. It had to be done. I asked if it was really worth it. It was for all of them. But what we had to do made me say no. We're glad it's over with. In another way, though, we wish it hadn't happened. What went wrong? Asked Kakashi. We let it go when we saw that our friend was in pain. Kakashi fell down because he lost his balance. Did. Naruto told him, it is safely locked away again. It won't happen again until we figure out how to stop it. We swear. After almost 2 months, Naruto went back to Konoha. When he got there, he found out that the Mizukage had died and that someone else had taken his place. No one seemed to know who it was, but the bingo books were being rewritten. That was the most important news. Bingo books changed as the people in them died and were replaced by new people. But someone wasn't dying when they were taken out of it. Naruto went through the window after getting to the top of the Hokage tower. Hey, old fella. What is all the fuss about? Sarutobi was happy. Thanks, Naruto. You just saved me from having to call you. Huh? I have a note from one of the last Uzumaki clan members. It looks like you're going out with one of your clan members, which is a common thing to do. You can always say no after you meet her, though. She has been sent by the Mizukage. But, I can't get married. I have no relatives. You do now, said Sarutobi. But how do you know that she is who she says she is? Because she knows your Kekkei Genkai. A little different, but with the same skill. Naruto got still. She has got my Kekkei Genkai? Yes, she does, Naruto. I've seen it with my own eyes. She has your speech as well. He turned and opened the door. Miss, you won't have to wait. He is here already. He moved out of the way to show a girl in a white dress with dark hair that reached below her shoulders. She saw him, smiled, and then jumped on him. Hello, Naruto-kun. We're your fiancé copyright, Haku, she told the shocked Genin before kissing him. Sarutobi's eyebrows went up at how brave she was. Yes, she is Naruto's cousin. Did you hear? She asked her friends as she walked into the tea shop. The Uzumaki do belong to a family. So, said the younger woman. So, he's in a marriage that was set up, the older woman said. Either today or yesterday, a clan member with the same skills came here and told the Hokage she was going to marry him. Kurenai shook her head when she heard them talk. Why can't some women stop talking about other women? When she turned around, Kiba and Shino were looking at Hinata with worry on their faces. What's up? She seemed like she was about to pass out or run away. Goodbye, Kurenai-sensei. Tomorrow, I'll see you. The Hokage said, excuse me, but can you two stop doing that on my floor? Someone knocked on his door. Come on in. Hinata opened it by throwing it open. And the first thing she saw was Naruto still being kissed by Haku while he looked shocked. She had tears in her eyes as she passed out. What do we do? Naruto asked.
So that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel for more awesome stories like this. Thank you. See you all in my next video.